Hi and welcome to this OCAA matchup between the Loyalist Lancers and the Algonquin College Wolves. I'm Seth Poore, and alongside me in the booth is
Owen O'Kelly doing your color commentary today. How are you doing, Seth?
I'm good. How about you?
Not too bad. Excited to see a couple games of volleyball here today.
As we have
the
women's volleyball game at 4 o'clock and the men's volleyball game at 6 o'clock as the Lancers and the Wolves look to go at it in front of us. Owen, Algonquin coming in here 2-0. The Lancers coming in here 0-3. So one team is on the win column. You know, Algonquin third in the East and ninth in the province compared to Loyalist, who's 0-3, like I mentioned, and ninth in the East. So Loyalist has a lot of work to do to get to back on the win column, I would say, or start getting on the win column, I should really say, as they lost 3 games so far this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Seth. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It's looking like it's going to be a pretty strong game for the Wolves today. Of course, you never know. We love an underdog. We love to see an underdog story. But yeah, just like you said, I think it's going to be a real challenge for the Loyalists today. That's where they're going to be hoping to get, like you said, on the win column, on the win streak here.
And we've seen it so far in Algonquin in the first 2 games, how they play and how strong they play. You know, a 3-1, 2-3-1 wins, one against Centennial, once against La Cité. So in 8 sets, they won 6 and only lost 2. So they're a very strong team. And talking to head coach Everton Sr. before the game, he told me, he said, the sets we lose are because the mistakes that we did during those sets. So he said, so far this year, we haven't lost because of the way that, you know, we're playing in the game. It's a tight game. It goes down to the wire. He said it's a lot of times it's those 2 sets, a lot of those mistakes, and they get away from how mentally focused that they are going into the game. He said if they play their game and they're strong from start to end, they can win any game 3-0.
Absolutely. The strong team for sure, and that's going to be their focus today, is like really like honing in on what mistakes they're making and trying to correct them as fast as possible.
And
the Wolves' logic for today.
And on the other side, head coach Jesse Dickhorn, we talked also before the game started, and he mentioned that, you know, they need to find their rhythm. They got to find their way of playing. 5 rookies on his team this year. They got to find their way and how they want to play Loyalist volleyball. So hopefully today they can turn the page and find their way to get on the win column and get their first win of the year. And it won't be easy going up against the Wolves. Key players, we talked about this a lot, how both teams that play in front of us, if it's basketball, soccer, volleyball, every team's got great players. But on one end, you know, we talked about for Algonquin, Natasha Lozone. You know, there's not enough things to say about her. She had a great year last year. You know, this 5'10" right hitter from London, Ontario, averaging 3.33 kills a set, has a hitting percentage of .286, and she's good on the defensive side as well, as she's averaging 2.67 digs a set. So for her, great player on both sides. For the Wolves, also Cambria Alford and Jordan Fake. All these 3 players there, if they can play their game, Algonquin has very high chance of winning any volleyball game. But we talked about this before the broadcast, how yes, they have key players and they have top star players, but their whole team, the depth on that bench, head coach Everton Sr. can look at anyone on the bench and really find, okay, you can come in, let's go get us. Like, whoever's a 6 on the court, doesn't matter who it is, they can go out and perform.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said it, that as long as there's communication between these players, the chance for a Wolves W here today is very high indeed.
And on the other side for the Lancers, 2 key players I want to point out are Taylor Baker and Charles Cudmore. Those 2 players, when they play well together, Lancers can still perform well on both sides. As you know, they won 1 set against Centennial, and they came to a 5-set loss against St. Lawrence, where they lost 3-2 there. So, you know, Charles Cudmore, you know, 3.33 kills a set, a hitting percentage of .239. So she can perform as well. So her and Lozone are really close in numbers. So look for Cudmore and Lozone to battle it out for their squad. And Taylor Baker, a very strong outside hitter. She also plays a bit of libero as well. 3.83 digs a set. And, you know, when the Lancers can figure out how they want to play and how they want to continue this year, they'll be great all together. They just got to figure out how they want to really go about their year.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be a deciding factor in their strategy tonight and the way they play tonight, of course. And it's important, like you said, to see the relationships between these players and how they're going to face off. We know their strengths, but especially we know their weaknesses, and we're going to hope to see some work on their game today, especially on the Loyalist side, if they can hope to really challenge and meet the challenge of the Wolves today, for sure, Seth.
Right, we talked about two teams coming in here today. One team looking to climb their way up in the win column, the other team looking to dig their way out of it. Algonquin, if they want to keep winning, they got to really be on top of the defensive coverage. You know, that they're getting those digs up, and that back row of the defensive line has to really be on point here today. They got to balance the attacks. You know, a couple spikes. Give the ball a couple tips, maybe switch it around so the Lancers don't really back up if they know it's going to be a spike, or they can come up with a little tap. They can figure something out so they can play with the Lancers defense. And the big thing, and we mentioned it before, Everton Senior put a big emphasis on minimizing the mistakes. They had a couple mistakes in the two sets they lost, one against Centennial, the other one against La Cité. If they can minimize mistakes, they can win any game, and that's a big deal for Algonquin.
And that's the truth for Algonquin. Absolutely. Making the small mistakes here and there, it's inevitable, and it's going to happen. We're definitely going to see them in this game, but this is a great game for Algonquin to really work on those and really notice them when they're happening. You know, not the stress of a big, championship title game as we were witnessed in soccer recently, but this is a nice, relaxing game and should be a nice, relaxing W for the Wolves today, and a good opportunity for them to work on their weakest traits and help fix some of those mistakes and make them a lot less.
And for Loyalists, for them, they got to play with fast tempo, play with a faster, quicker type of game. Their serve and receive has to be on point. They got to be able to serve well, but they also, on the other end, got to be able to receive any offensive attacks coming from the other side of the net. And they got to run quicker sets to the middle, because we've seen a lot so far this year how teams get points and easy points if they play great in the middle. So for them, if they can get the ball in the middle, move it up to the front line and get some nice attacks going, they have a great chance of winning sets and winning the game here today. But both teams, they really have to find the open areas on the court, because depends how you play your defense and how you're playing your offense. Also, when that ball comes over and you decide where to put the ball, because you don't just send the ball over the net, right? There's certain areas on the court, depending on how they're playing defense, how they're trying to set up their offense for the next offensive attack. There's gaps and there's holes on the court. So the team that can find those holes can get those easy and quick points, and we can see a team go up by 6 quick like this, because they're able to find the open areas
easily. And we could really hope that happens for the Loyalists today. We want them to at least go home today with one set under their belt at least. It would be nice to see, and a nice challenge for Algonquin to keep them on their toes. Absolutely. So I believe we're about to go into O Canada real quick here, Seth.
And you were here with our broadcast partner Lucas last week's game against La Cité. What did you take from that game going into this one for the Wolves?
It's definitely a good demonstration of the game to show us just the competition that Algonquin's up with. Algonquin, both women's and men, walked away with victory against La Cité that day. So I believe it's going to be another good challenge. Those were great competitive sets. I believe the men's game even went to set 5, if I recall correctly. My memory's getting worse as I age, but for sure that it's bound to happen. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a nice challenge for the Wolves, and we can hope to see more good volleyball today. We're looking for some impressive rallies and some nice kills, and maybe a couple of good digs too.
Yeah, and we talked about the Wolves and what they want to accomplish. They came up short last year. They're looking to keep climbing up and getting those wins early on in the year, because if you get those wins early on the year, it transfers over to the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, when you're fighting to get a top spot in the playoffs. And we talked about both teams and how they come into this game, and we talked about a team where Lancers, their hitting percentage is, at 106 compared to Algonquin, which is 326. So almost more than triple for Algonquin. So Algonquin obviously has a better efficiency on the hitting side, and as well as getting those digs. Algonquin 20.88 compared to Loyalist with 13.5. So Algonquin's really on the upper hand here today, but don't count Loyalist out of this one, as if they can get everything fall in their favor, they can utilize their set pieces and figure out how to play Lancer volleyball. They can find a way to get some sets here and put Algonquin on their toes. But we will get the starting lineup in O Canada very shortly. I'm Seth Porter. Alongside me in the booth is
Owen O'Kelly.
And we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Lancers, Wolves, up next.
We would like to take a moment and extend a warm welcome to the Mavericks Volleyball Club! Since 1985, the Mavs have been the cornerstone of the volleyball community, not only here in Ottawa, but across the province and the country. Their commitment to developing athletes and growing the game continues to inspire the next generation of players. We're thrilled to have so many Mavs coaches and athletes and families with us tonight. Wolves fans, make some noise for the Mavs! As yes, the Algonquin Student Association acknowledges that today's event is taking place on the traditional unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. Now, if you're able, please rise and remove your hats and join us in welcoming Algonquin College Journal student Zoe Ryan for singing the national anthem.
Hein, welcome back. This OCAA matchup between the Loyalist Lancers and the Algonquin College Wolves. Now for the starting lineup for the Loyalist Lancers. Number 1, Jamie Rutledge. Number 2, Jada Eads. Number 7, Amber Verbridgen. Number 11, Caitlin Byrne. Number 12, Isabella Baker. Number 13, Charles Cudmore, and the libero, number 4, Taylor Baker. Head coach, Jesse Dickhorn. Now for the Wolves, starting lineup. Number 4, Pasha Ormarod. Number 8, Isabella Tarango. Number 9, Chanel Etze. Number 10, Karis Tetori. Number 13, Gabby Paquette. Number 16, Natasha Lozon. And the 2 liberals, Danica St. Louis and Jordan Feig. Head coach, Everton Sr. Owen, as we prepare for this volleyball match in front of us, any last thoughts before we get this one underway?
No, not too many thoughts for me, Seth, on a good day, but I think we're going to have a nice match here. I'm hopefully going to see some, like we said, some nice rallies, a nice important match for the Wolves, like we said, a good opportunity for them to work on the mistakes, like we said, they're making. I'm just really excited to get going with it.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good game in front of us as we're seeing the Wolves starting lineup getting announced. As we will take a quick break and we will be with you guys very shortly. I'm Seth Porter. Alongside me in the booth is
Owen O'Kelly.
And we will be with you guys right back. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
Owen, the game is set to get underway here as the Wolves are going to serve first here today.
That's right, Seth. They're going to kick us off.
As it is the Mavs Appreciation Night, a lot of Mavs and players and coaches here today as we started off at low zone, digging it up. Spiked by the Wolves, and it's a point. First one goes to the Wolves. Karis Tantori.
Like you said, it's a very exciting in-house crowd today. Open house here at Algonquin College, Woodruff campus, and again, the MAV Athletic Youth Club joining us in-house. A lot of extra seats pulled up for today's event.
After that double touch, it will be another point awarded to the Wolves with Gabby Paquette on the serve as she has 0.71% serve aces per set as she gets away for her third one right here. And it will drop at 3 points in a row for the Wolves as a little breakdown defensively for the Lancers, and Paquette will go back to the serve line for her fourth one here to start off the first set. Cudmore digging that one up. Gets spiked from the Wolves here. Cudmore. And that one trying to go cross body, trying to get it to Lozo on the other side. Hits the net. And the Wolves go up 4 now to Loyalist 0. Paquette Still on the serve here. She's able to get it to Baker. Baker, Cudmore bouncing it up. Eage able to send it over the net here. Paquette, and it's spiked by Isabella Tarango, giving her team the 5-0 lead early on in this first set.
It's very good couple of sets here for Paquette serving.
As Gabby Paquette balls up over the net. Lozon, a little tip, and misplays that one, giving the Lancers their first point of the night. We talked about that early on, how a different type of attacks that Algonquin was going to do. And you see Lozon there. We're used to seeing her, especially last year, giving those strong attacks. Here she goes for the tip, misplays that one, and the Lancers, their first serve of the night, goes over the net. It gets tipped over by Cudmore. Lozon with the spike, and the miscommunication from the Lancers, as Baker and Eage not on the same page there, and that ball goes right in between them both, and it will be 6-1 for the Wolves. As Tentori serving up that one. Spike made by Caitlin Byrne, as Jordan Fag not able to control that one, going off her right arm. Byrne serving for the Lancers here. Byrne with the dig inside. It's tipped over by Tarango. And Lozon not able to get it over the net here, as Tentori makes a diving attempt to dig that one up. As
it was just not controlled, unfortunately, there, Seth.
As the Lancers cut down the lead to 3. Big attack here.
Beautiful play from the Wolves there. You see the fake out spike there. That's how they're going to get it. They got to work on that move, and I think that's going to get them the W later down the line.
Chanel Etier, 5'10", from Ottawa, Ontario, getting Algonquin the 7th point of the night. Pasha O'Morrow on the serve here, as Cudmore with the nice attack. She sends it one more time over the net, and it will be awarded to the Wolves right there, Owen. How come Loyalist didn't just leave it out of bounds? It was over the line here, and she decided to play it.
And you know, that's just the chalk it up to the adrenaline of the game, Seth. You know, it's hard to track it. You know, got to keep your eye on the ball and not on the lines.
Pasha Ormerod with the nice serve there, as that ball is able to travel over the net once more. Sorry, that's Isabella Tarango. Tarango, nice serve by her, as Cudmore can't get it to go over the net there.
Lost control of that one. Looked like they were lining themselves up for a spike, but she couldn't get it quite in time.
Tarango once again on the serve here. Miscommunication between Cudmore and Verbrugen, and it will be a timeout. Loyalist. Owen, this first set here, Algonquin taking an early lead, 11-3 for the Wolves. What did you see so far in this very early in this first set?
It's like we said at the beginning, it's something we could expect topping off at the game. A little bit of a lack of communication on both sides, I'm noticing. Definitely a fair more on the Lancers end, but certainly on the Wolves as well. Unable to kind of get that dig like we mentioned. I believe it got the Loyalists their 2nd point of the night as we round out to 27 seconds left in the timeout here. Yeah, I saw a lot of great plays here. We mentioned that good, beautiful fake-out play, fake-out spike play from the Wolves. We hope to see a lot of that, and we'd like to see that a powerful strategy for a successful team here that are 2-0. We can only hope that they get a little bit more of those. further down the line. That's really going to help them if they plan to go all the way this season.
And so far, we're seeing the Wolves really get a lot of serves going, and they're able to really move the ball over as Tarango will serve it once more for the Wolves. As she gets it over the net, and it is last touch by Taylor Baker as she misplays that, and Tarango will be right back on the serve line for the Wolves as she gets it over the net. Baker inside to Rutledge. Cudmore, nice attack by her as she's able to get Loyalist back on the scoreboard as Tarango takes a seat.
And the Wolves libero subs back on.
Danica St. Louis on for the Wolves. As that ball goes up and it is spiked by number 4, Pasha Ormerod, the Durham College transfer. As she's able to get a nice attack there as she's averaging 3 kills a set. As Natasha Lozon on the serve line, first time of the night. Touches the net, but it goes over as Lozon is able to save it here. Lancer send it over. Not able to save it is the Wolves. As Gabby Paquette made a diving attempt there, not able to get what she wanted there. As Cutmore at the service line. It's able to get a nice attack there. And it goes and it falls for the Wolves. As Chanel Etier gets that one for Algonquin. She goes to the serve line here. What an attack by Etier there. She gets off to serve this one. Cudmore getting it up to Rutledge. And Eage not able to save that. Algonquin awarded another point there. And Etier will be back on the serve line.
Wolves now 10 points away from claiming the first set.
Nice attack by Verbragen. Etier sends it over. Cutmore with the dig there. And it will be Isabella Baker, who was not able to get a successful attack there, as it will be a substitution here. As Isabella Baker off the court for Loyalists, and number 14, Kaylee Verboon, the outside hitter, 5'8", in the game now for the Loyalists. As Jada Age spikes that one, deflects off of a Wolf player, and it will be Loyalists who cuts the lead down to 10 here as the Wolves 16, Loyalists 6. Verbragen's serve hits the net, and the Wolves are looking to continue their hot streak here as Pasha Ormerod serves this one. Cudmore. Nice tip on the net by Tarango. As she gets the point there, tipping that one to fall, as Ormerod will send this one over the net. Cudmore. Rutledge. Baker sends it over. Etier to Paquette. Tarango drops it in. Paquette. Lozon puts this one up. Tentori with the big spike there. Save by Eej.
And the first great rally of the evening goes to the Lancers.
Tarango can't save that one, as the Lancers get a well-needed point there. They needed a point extremely badly if you're Loyalist to keep yourself in this first set. Eej sends this over. Paquette to Tentori with this big attack. Tentori able to put it where she needs it to be for it to fall. You saw the two defenders, root ledge, having your hands up to block that one, and Tentori puts the ball where she wants it to be. So wait, root ledge has her hands up, it touches her finger and it goes out of bounds.
Yep. It's an unfortunate play for the Lancers here, but it just shows the Wolves are going strong. They do not plan to give this one up.
Sydney Crawford in the game here as for Loyalist, as well as number 10, Michaela DeWall. Low zone, putting this one up. Tentori able to get it to Cutmore. Itie to Paquette. Low zone with the big attack. Cudmore. Nice attack from Cudmore from deep in her own end. Able to give another point to her squad as Verboon setting herself up with the serve here. 19-8 Algonquin lead. Verboon serves this one up. Paquette. Tarango. Paquette able to send it up. It is blocked on from Cudmore. And the wall there, both going up to block that attack attempt.
The Wolves just not ready to expect the block from the Lancers there, unable to rebound that.
Verboon sending this one in. Fake, low zone with the spike, putting it at the right spot, at the right moment. You saw right there that opening, but you saw low zone kind of going on the curve when she spiked that ball in. Oh, and she didn't just go straight. You saw her hand kind of come across her body.
Absolutely, Seth, and that led to a beautiful point there for the Wolves. 4 away now from claiming the first set of the night.
Tentori, her serve, able to get over the net, and Cudmore not able to control that one as Tentori serving once more. She hits the top of the net, but goes over, falls for Algonquin as Verboom was not able to receive that one. Tentori, her serve, a little too much power there, goes out of play as Loyalist Caitlin Byrne from Campbell Ford, Ontario, serving it for the Lancers here. She can't get it to go over the net. The Wolves are 2 points away from getting this first set of this one. And it will be Tarango who will serve this one for the Wolves. She puts it up. Cudmore able to receive that. Tentori going back to get that. Paquette getting that one up. Miscommunication from Loyalist there as you saw Crawford and DeWall not on the same page on who's going to get that ball there, Owen, as Algonquin 1 point away from winning the first set as Tarango getting set to serve this one. She puts it up over the net. Cudmore is going to attack this one. Paquette receives it well. Tentori puts it up. Itie over the net. And it out of, I thought it was out of bounds there, but no, it was touched from the block attempt from the Wolves.
Tough call there to make, Seth, absolutely.
The wall getting that point for Loyalist. as Crawford serves it up here for the Lancers. No zone, sending it over. It goes out of play. It will be Loyalist who gets 2 points in a row. Haven't seen a lot of that so far. I believe that's probably the first time that the Lancers have had 2 points back to back. But Crawford looking to keep going here. Paquette. Tarango sending it over. Crawford. Cutmore. Nice job by Tarango. Etier putting it up. And it's a point for Algonquin. Pasha or Morrow from Terrace, BC. Getting that point to fall, and the first set goes to the Wolves.
Incredible rally to close off the first set there, Seth. It was touch and go there for the Lancers, you know, getting 2 in a row, getting some luck there at the end of the first set for themselves. But yeah, just a great rally, and that's what we came here to see. It's what the people came here to see, is just some good volleyball. This is some great rallies to end our first set as we get ready for our second one. We'll be right back. I'm Owen O'Kelly, and in the booth with me,
Seth Poirier.
We'll see you soon.
And we're back here as we're waiting the second set. Algonquin winning the first set, going up 1-0 here. Owen, what's your take on the first set as Algonquin really took over that first set, leading early, but that fast tempo, they had a lot of fire going under them in the first set.
Absolutely. We're able to see a good fire lit underneath the Lancers now. Lancers able to keep pace with the Wolves at the best of times here, hoping to get, you know, like these good rallies like I'm such a fan of. I'll keep going on about it, sound like a broken record, talking about an impressive rally. You'll know it's impressive when I mention it. But we're seeing a lot of, you know, errors in communication on both sides, you know, more so the Lancers, but, you know, the Wolves are not free of guilt on that regard too. But, you know, able to keep it up more. Lancers unable to kind of predict the Wolves' movements here, but also able to keep the Wolves on their toes with, like we saw that block just a few moments ago in the first set. The Wolves unable to come back from a rebound after a very successful block from the Lancers. And the Lancers, too, even at the set point, still able to come back on their own and get those 2 points in a row. So they are sure not going to lose their footing here, and the Wolves really got to match their pace if they hope to win this one.
Misha Janif, number 3 on the court for the Wolves, as Loyalists off the Kaylee Verboom serve gets their first lead of the night, their first point of the second set, as she gets up for her second one. Etier sending over to Janif. Etier with the spike. Cudmore with Verboom sending it over. Janif. Tarango. She puts it down after that big spike. 1-1 as Janif will go up for the serve here. Janif, 5'5" from BC, sending this one off. As that one goes out of bounds from the attack of Caitlin Byrne. As you see how Loyalist is playing defensively, Janif putting that ball where she wants it to be. As Etier touches that one slightly, that ball bouncing around. Janif sent it over to Etier. Boom! What a spike! And what a job by Verboom to save that one. Cudmore putting that one back up. Verboom not able to secure that as she had a nice diving attempt off of Etier's spike attack there. She's not able to save it there as Janif once more on the serve line. Lozon putting it up over the net here. Hits the net and it will be awarded the point to the Wolves as Age not able to get that one over the net. Janif, she's 3 for 3 on her serve, looking to make that 4 of 4 here. She puts it up. A nice play by Tarango.
Nice, easy point for the Wolves
Oh,
there.
and you said it earlier before the broadcast, those areas, and we talked about it earlier as well, those open areas, and right here Tarango saw there's an open area right by the net, and instead of just sending it over, she knocks it right down for the point.
Absolutely, you got to see when the Wolves see an opportunity like that coming their way, you bet they're going to take it.
Cudmore putting it up with a lot of power on that attack. She gives the Loyalists their second point of this second set here as Caitlin Byrne serving this one, and she hits the net, and Algonquin gets the point right back, and it will be Chanel Etier who will serve this one, the 5'10" left hitter from Ottawa, Ontario, getting ready to serve this one and put this one up, and she does just that. Cudmore trying to save it. She can't get there in time. And the Wolves get their 7th point of the second set here. As Etier looking to serve this one once again. She puts it up. Cudmore goes to save it. She does. As Age puts this over. Janif to Lozon. And she gets the point to fall off the Cudmore blocking attempt.
Extremely fast play there, Seth. I don't know about you, but I got confused as to where the ball ended up there. Crazy fast plays here from the Wolves.
Etier pulling the ball up. Getting across the net here. Cudmore with the attack. Last touch by Janif. And it will be Loyalist who gets the point there, getting their 3rd one of the set. As Cudmore averaging 3.33 kills a set with a hitting percentage of .239, getting the 3rd point for her team here. As Routledge sending this one off. Janif, Tarango! It's almost saved by St. Louis, but she can't get there in time and have a great reception there as Jamie Routledge will serve this one in.
I would call that another surprise block from the Lancers, unable to be rebounded from the Wolves there, not expecting it when they're, or happening when they least expect it.
Lozon putting it up. Baker. Attack by Age. Lozon once again. She puts it in and she puts it down for the 9th point of the second set for the Wolves. As Lozon, same kill per set percentage as Cudmore on the other side, 3.33 with a hitting percentage of 286. Puts it down for the Wolves. Routledge sending it off to Verbruggen. Out of play is the call by the official, and it will be the Wolves who get the 10th point of this second set as Tarango getting set to serve this one in. Cudmore. Baker puts it up to Eage. Janif. Itier sends it over. And can't be saved by Routledge as Verbruggen was there to have an attempt at it, but she can't receive that one. Owen, quick 11 points for the Wolves as Loyalists had an early start, able to get the first point. They had a lead there. They got the ball back. They got the point back, but they weren't able to really get much going in Algonquin. I don't know if it's just taking control, taking advantage of what's given to them, or are they just putting the ball over the net? I don't know exactly as of right now. What's your opinion on that?
I think my opinion is, we're talking a lot about these blocks that the Lancers are putting up. I think they know when to look for those opportunities. They know when to look for those routes, though they don't present them as much as they would like them to. I think the Wolves are ready for them most of the time, but 9 times out of 10, and it does count for that one time, that 10th time out of 10, it's that block that they just can't seem to rebound. But for the most part, they're able to keep up against the Lancers and really take back the lead from them early on in the set.
As we get set after the timeout from Loyalists, they had also a timeout in the first set. They got to figure out something here as Tarango. She averaging 1 serve ace per set. Serve this one off. Routledge sending off to Cudmore. Cudmore has to touch it over. Tarango to Lozon. Lozon falls inside. Verboom to Routledge. Cudmore sending it over. Janif inside.
The Lancers there trying to set up for a block, doesn't quite go their way.
To Ormirod. And Ormirod putting it down for the 12th point for Algonquin. Tarango back on the serve line. Tarango putting it down. Verboom. Routledge. Cudmore for the point. Loyalists getting the much needed point there as they're down by a lot, but Cudmore at the serve line. Hopefully she can get something going for Loyalists. She puts it up. It falls. Itier, Janif. Ormirod saved by Lozon. Lozon has to send it over. Eage. Verboom. Falls out of play. Algonquin with the point there, and Lozon up to serve.
Very crazy save there, Seth, if you saw that. Almost a point for the Loyalists when they saw that block almost being intercepted, but luckily saved there from our Wolves.
Lozon able to get it to go. Verboom over the net. Itier, Janif. And Alford, Cambria Alford, not able to get that one to fall. Alford from Whitehorse, Yellowknife, 5'9", left hitter in the game for the Wolves. As the Wolves not able to secure that one. St. Louis not able to really get a nice angle on that dig there. And Verbruggen going up for her second serve here as she gets the first one to fall in her favor. As she's averaging 0.22 serve aces per set. St. Louis, Janif, nice touch by Janif. Lozon puts it up. Janif, Alford, Cudmore digs that one up. Janif right back to Alford. Nice blocked attempt by the Lancers. Routledge to Verboom. That one goes out of play. Loyalists get the point there after a nice rally from both squads here. as Verbruggen back to the serve line. St. Louis, Janif to low zone, she attacks it. And Cudmore puts it up, but it will be a double touch on Verboom. And Algonquin gets the lucky point there off the mistake from Kaylee Verboom. Alford getting set to serve this one in. Over the net it goes. Cudmore to Rutledge. Put over the net is number 11, Byrne. Caitlin Byrne, who's able to successfully put that one over the net. Loyalist down 5 as Jada Age able to get to the serve line. She puts it up. Over the net it goes. Alford digs it up, but Verboom, who had that mistake earlier, which gave the 14th point to the Wolves, able to put it back after the sent over from Alford, and Alford can't receive that one. And Age serves it up once more. Itier to Janif, to Rango! Sorry. That is Ormerod with the point there as she goes up to serve as well.
Wolves ending what appeared to be a great point streak there from the Lancers, really closing that gap in their lead.
Ormerod sending over, Cudmore. Over, she receives it. Ormerod getting it up. Itier with the big attack. Ball's up here as Ormerod can't get there. Ormerod can't get there as she gets subbed off. And she takes a seat on the bench. Verboom set to serve this one in. She gets it in. Janif, nice touch by her. Cudmore, back line. She's able to get it over.
Very nonchalant spike from Cudmore there.
And the Wolves cannot successfully get that ball up as Danica St. Louis diving attempt to get that ball up for the Wolves to play it, and she can. Loyalist closing that gap, only down by 3. As Verboom sends it over the net. Alford, St. Louis, Itier over the net here. As once again, Rutledge able to set up Byrne with a nice attack there. And Rutledge, the setter libero for this squad, digs it up 2.42 times on average so far this year. Lozon sends it over. Verboom, Rutledge to Cudmore. She puts it up. Janif sends it to Lozon. Rutledge to Cudmore here. Cudmore, after that block attempt by Tarango, she gets the point to fall. Loyalists down by 1 here as St. Louis is not able to get there. Some nice digs here from Algonquin with Alford and St. Louis, but St. Louis on the last one not able to save it and put the ball back in play as Verboom sends it over to Alford. Tarango! Verboom up to Rutledge, and she misplaced that one. A double touch from Rutledge, and it will be Janif once again on the serve line as she's looking to put her team up by more than 2 points, as this is very close second set. Verboom, Cudmore puts it up. Fag, Janif Itier, after that block attempt with Rutledge and Byrne jumping up to try to block that one. Owen deflects off her, and it will be a timeout for Loyalists. Owen, we saw that last play. Ite goes up to spike that one, and you saw Rutledge and you saw Byrne go up to block it, and it deflect. You saw the ball, it came in and it deflected off the left hand of Byrne, and it went inside, and no one was there to receive it to dig it back up.
Yeah, very unfortunate for a point there, Seth. Definitely not what they wanted. I'm seeing the Lancers really pick up and come into their stride here, really nearly tying it up. The Wolves really struggling to actually make that gap and their lead a little bit bigger. Lancers really closing in on them here. They seem to work on a nice little hot streak
And
with these points here. Did you notice that?
yeah, and you see, and that's the Wolves coming in to get those points, and they're able to turn around, but they got to find a way to get up more because they're not playing exactly what they did in the first set. So it's very interesting. And for Loyalists, as a team, they're averaging 0.58 blocks per set, and right there they got successful ones in the first set and also the second set, and right there was not the successful one you want, as the hands were placed a certain way, ball tipped it and was able to fall on their side of the court here as Janif puts it up. Rutledge goes to get it, and Each puts it up and it hits the floor.
Another tough call there, Seth.
As the Wolves not in the right position at the right time defensively, and I think right there it's costing them some easy points that they could successfully send it over. As you see, Byrne gets subbed off for the Lancers as number 10, Michaela DeWall from Frankfurt, Ontario, in the game to serve this one. She puts it up over the net. St. Louis, Janif, Tarango, and that will be a lift called against Isabella Tarango. She gives the point to Loyalists. They're down by one, 17-16. Wolves lead only by
just a little
one.
Too far, just a tad too far over the net for Tarango there, Seth.
Janif to low zone. She puts it in, and once again, you saw low zone. We saw earlier in the first set how she was tried to go on an angle when she tried to attack that edge. The first one fell for her, the second one doesn't, as the Wolves and the Lancers tied at 17 apiece here. It's it, Janif, Tarango puts it up here. Rutledge sends it over to Eej. She can't get it to go over the net as the Wolves retake the lead only by one here as Etier
Truly anybody's set here today, Seth.
serving this one here, and you're absolutely right. It's the second set, especially the first set, the Wolves won it by a lot. The second set here, both teams can go and win it. Rutledge up to Cutmore, and right there you saw, I don't know if she tried to send it to Verbruggen or Cutmore, but that's the second time this set she misplaced that ball.
Not sure for where her center player was there, hoping that she was where she was placing it, but unfortunately not. A little bit of lack of coordination there from the Lancers. No big deal is the deficit of 2 points. We've seen them close greater gaps this set alone.
As Etier puts it up over the net. Baker, Rutledge, Verbruggen sends it over. Janif, Alford off the net. She's able to get it up. Rutledge, Cutmore, and Etier's there to dig that one up. Alford, nice play by Alford. Cambria Alford able to put it down, and Verbroom
Bringing the Wolves,
not able to save that one.
bringing the Wolves 5 points away from claiming this set.
Etier serves this one up. Verboom touches that one over the net. Janif, low zone, deflected by Cudmore. And Eej puts that one over the net, but it goes out of bounds and not on the court. And Etier, 3 serves in a row that she's been doing very good. And so far this set, and in the first set, she's been able to set up great on the serves here as she puts the ball up over the net. Cudmore digs that one. Rutledge back to Cudmore. Nice play by Loyalists. Cudmore to Rutledge, back to Cudmore. And that block attempt with Tarango and low zone not falling for what we saw that with Loyalists. It didn't fall for what they wanted. It hit off the hand, went out of bounds.
Absolutely. You see the Wolves trying to copy the nice block style of the Lancers, unable to mimic it perfectly.
And
they knocked that one out of bounds.
Jamie Routledge serves this one up. Alfred able to dig that one up. Tarango touches that one over the net. Routledge. Verboom. Misplays that one. Not enough height on that ball. And the Wolves 3 points shy of getting this second set. And they need the second set here to go up by 2 and to go do or die in the third set. Hopefully they can get there. Tarango serves this one up. Cutmore digs it up. Routledge to Cutmore. Cutmore touches that one over the net. Janif. Cambria Alford with the nice attack. Routledge to Crawford, and for the second time in a row, Loyalists cannot get their attacks to go over the net, and they give the point right back to the Wolves here as the Wolves leading 23-18. Alford putting it up. Routledge. Cutmore. Cutmore with the big attack there. She's averaging 3.33 kills a set, and she gets the much needed point for Loyalists. She goes up to serve. As we know, she has a great serve. Let's see what Cutmore has in store here as her team down in the second set. She puts it up. Miscommunication here from the Wolves. Ball still up in play. Alford. Cutmore touches that one up. She's going to spike it off the net. As Mirod was there if case needed, and Lozone can ice this one and give her team the 2-0 set lead. Lozone puts it up over the net. Cutmore digs it up. Routledge to Verboom. Lozone touches it up. Janif. Alford. Alford with a nice touch. Verboom with Routledge with the save. Ite. Janif. Lozone spikes it over. Crawford. Routledge touches it up. Verboom spikes it over the net. Janif. Ormirod. The transfer from Durham College. The BC native wins the second set for the Wolves, and the Wolves up 2-0 here going into the third and potentially final set. Owen, the Wolves they won that set, but it wasn't the same thing as they were playing and how great they played in that first set, but a win's a win.
Absolutely right, Seth. You notice their sorry lack of communication here and there as the Wolves letting a few too many, if you ask me, points come by from the Lancers, definitely making that gap a little bit larger in the first set than in the second. But the Lancers, got to hand it to them, not giving it up easy, not letting them take that set easily today, Seth. Don't go anywhere, folks, as we will come very close to our third and potentially final set of the night for the women's game. I'm Ono Kelly, your color commentator. Joining me is play-by-play
Seth Poirier, and we'll be right back here as the Wolves looking to win this one 3-0. And we're back. Owen O'Kelly and I'm Seth Poirier getting this volleyball game here, the second one that the Wolves are home here. They won last week against La Cité 3-1. They also won against Centennial 3-1. So this is their third game of the year as the Loyalist Lancers 0-3. 3-0 loss against Durham, 3-2. Very tight game against St. Lawrence, a 3-1 loss against Centennial. As the Wolves and Lancers getting set off for this third and potentially final set. Owen, what do you want to see from both teams, but especially from the Lancers, to try to fight to get potentially a win, a set win here?
I think the Lancers should be proud of themselves. They go home today playing just like they did in the second set. Of course, I'd love this set to go to Algonquin, but I'd love to see a good fight from the Lancers to, make it a little difficult for them. As we started off here.
Rootledge, Cutmore sends it off. Fag.
First point to the Wolves.
As you saw, Jordan Fag able to get that point of fall for the Wolves. And the Wolves, compared to the second set, able to get the first point here as Loyalists had the first point of the second set. Serves up. Rootledge goes back to get that one. Spiked by Cutmore. Save by Paquette. And Tantori able to get that one to fall once again. And she gets the point for the Wolves. 2-0 Algonquin. As head coach Jesse Dickhorn wants an explanation on that one as he talks to the official. But it will be, once again, serve from Algonquin. Ball goes up. Cutmore digs it up. Rootledge over to Crawford. That one hit the Algonquin blocking attempt with Ormerod and Howell. Howell in the game first time here today, number 12, as they both try to block that one. Loyalists get their first point of the third set as Cutmore serving this one up. Alford setting it off to Paquette. Howell, nice job by her, putting it where it needs to be, and it falls inside, almost went out of bounds, but it goes inside the court, and Algonquin gets their third point of the third set here. Nice job by Howell, able to get her first point of the night as Tantori serves this one up. Alford putting it down, and Rootledge not able to dive and receive that one as the Wolves go up by 3.
Very unfortunate attempt there from Rootledge. She'll be disappointed about that one. Hopefully not going to let that happen for the rest of the set if the Lancers can help it.
Alford able to put it up with a little touch with their hand, and it falls for the Wolves.
We bring them to 5-1 for our third and possibly final set of the women's game.
Tantori serving it up to Baker. Rootledge to Cutmore. She touches it over the net. Fag. Alford. Rootledge able to receive that one. Paquette to Howell. And Loyalists. Verboom goes a little over the net there, over the net line, and Algonquin's awarded the 6th point here as Karis Tantori up to serve once more as she puts it up over the net. Baker able to receive it, going over to Algonquin's right away. And Ormerod putting it down.
Gorgeous spike there from Ormerod there, Seth, and terrific coordination there from the Wolves. That's the type of play we need to see from them. We need to see that consistency. We need to see that last.
As an early timeout for the Lancers. Wolves 7, Loyalists 1. We'll be right back after the short break. And we're back here after the Lancers timeout. They called that one very early in this one as they're down by 6. As Tentori back to the serve line as she puts it up over the net. Routledge, Verbugen able to put it down.
Right away, we're seeing that timeout potentially be paying off for the Lancers as they score their second point of the set.
As Amber Verbruggen from North Frontenac, Ontario, serving this one. She has a serve ace percentage of 0.22. Ormerod putting it over. Routledge up across, and Crawford will attempt to put it over the net. She can't succeed on that one as that point's awarded to the Wolves.
Judgment call, had to figure if she was going to dump that or go up and try to spike it. Unfortunately, went for the easy dump right into the net. Too bad for the Loyalists as they trail by 6 points, 8-2 for the Algonquin Wolves.
Ormerod serving this one. Cutmore, Crawford. Paquette to Howell. Howell digged up by Cutmore. Byrne put it over the net. Paquette to Tentori, and she's not able to get her spike attempt to fall for the Wolves as Loyalists get their third point here of the third set as number 2, Holly Cameron, the 5'11" middle from Westville, Nova Scotia, in the game here.
The Lancers there with more of their well-placed blocks, securing them another point.
Cameron spiking that one, sends over Howell, sending over the net. Cudmore putting it up. Crawford spiking that one. Alford, Baker, ball bouncing up here, nice rally. Routledge across to Verboom, and Verboom able to get that one to fall for Loyalists. They cut the lead to 4. They split the difference here. They're down by 4. 8-4 the Wolves lead here as Crawford serves this one up. Alford receives it. Paquette to Howell. Nice save by Crawford. Verboom knocks it over. Paquette, Alford. And it's out of bounds, and Loyalists get that point there. Their 5th one of the third set. And Crawford back to the serve line. She's averaging 0.25 serve aces per set. She's getting that one, and that one goes out of play. Announcer's jinx possibly right there. As I just said, she's averaging a certain amount.
Lucas and I called it the commentator's curse
Yeah.
last time we were playing this game, and it seems to run rampant for sure.
Yeah.
As the Wolves lead here, 9-5.
Cudmore with the big spike. Big hitter. Cudmore from Ottawa, Ontario, putting that one down. And Verboom going to the serve line as this is her first game of the year. She didn't play in the first 3 games. She's looking for her first game here today as she had a great game, and that serve's not the serve that she wanted. Obviously, we know that she preferred to have a different serving attempt than that.
Yeah, of course we can say it's definitely not the finest moment we've seen, unfortunately. Still anybody said for sure as they only trail by 4 points. Algonquin now 10-6.
Alford saves that one, saving from out of bounds with Paquette, and Ormerod putting it up. Paquette tried to we talked about that. She tried to put it over the net on the second touch instead of setting up her teammate on the right or left side. And right there, it just didn't get enough.
An easy strategy, and definitely one that has worked for the Wolves. We've seen work this game alone, even got a fair bit of points using that technique, that little touch fake out. As the Loyalists let another one go to the Wolves. It should be 11-7 for Algonquin College. But yeah, exactly right, Seth, because we've seen that touch, sometimes it works and sometimes it only serves to throw off your teammates and your opponents.
Baker able to save it as Tentori puts it up over the net. She gets the point for her squad as the Wolves leading by 5. Routledge saving it. She puts it up. Cudmore from a bad angle able to put it over the net. And Tentori able to spike that one in open space from the Loyalist defensive line. But talk about Cudmore from that weird angle, almost, getting that ball to go over Algonquin's net.
Definitely a star spiker, definitely a strong player for the Lancers. They'll want to hold on to that style of play.
Verboom getting over the net here as Ormerod gets her spike blocked. Tentori will roll across the net, and Baker, Cudmore with the big spike attempt, and it will be out of play. Algonquin gets the point here as timeout Loyalists. Owen, so far both these teams battling out. This is close, but not as close as that second set was. What's your take so far?
Well, I think the Lancers are letting, having these periods of relaxation in their play here. We saw it before as they only led, or not lead rather, they had a score of 1 point to Algonquin's 7 or 8, I believe it was, and the timeout was called, and then the Lancers were able to close that gap more efficiently. Well, I can imagine on the last timeout allowed to them for this set, they will probably come back the same style as the Wolves lead 14-7. We can hope that the Lancers probably get some sort of streak going here in order to really put in, throw their hat in the ring for this set.
Yeah, as the Lancers looking to at least get one set win here. They don't want to lose this one 3-0 as they lost 1-3-0, 1-3-2, and 1-3-1. So hopefully they can get a set win here in this third and potentially, if you're Algonquin, final set as they're up by 7. They need 11 points to win this one. And Holly Cameron averaging 0.67 serve aces per set. Ready to serve this one. Baker, Routledge, Cudmore with the spike. It's put up by Cameron. Routledge, nice touch by her. Tentori on the net. And it will be a double touch by Gabby Paquette. She was very close to that, so I was surprised that she even set up a play. I thought she was going to put it over the net like she attempted a little while ago.
We thought we were going to see a repeat of that. Unfortunately not.
As Routledge sends this one over, and it does fall inside the white line.
Easy kill for Routledge and the Lancers.
Nice serve by her. Her team down by 5 here. As
I'd like to remedy that. It was an ace, not a kill from Routledge as she serves again.
Ball's up. Tentori with the big spike. Baker, nice save by her. And Cudmore with the big block. And you see the excitement there from Gabby Paquette.
Absolutely able to block that shot perfectly, especially from Cudmore, who we've seen is a terrific spiker for the Lancers. Paquette very proud of that spike able to happen.
Cudmore digging this one up to Routledge, back to Cudmore. Just out of play here. Almost able to fall, and there would have been a nice 1-2-1 right back to Cudmore.
Absolutely.
Not able to fall there as the Wolves inching closer and closer to that third set victory here as Paquette sends this one over. Crawford misplays that one. And the Wolves get the point on the misplay by Crawford and Gabby Paquette. 0.71 serve aces per set. Sends it over here. Routledge back to Cutmore. Alfred saves this one. Ball's up. Tentori able to get over the net. Routledge to Crawford. But it's saved in by the Wolves. Routledge. Verboom. As that one gets double played here, it's going to be a lift from the Wolves. The 10th point here for Loyalists as Cudmore to the serve line.
You got to imagine Cudmore in service here is going to do some great things for the Lancers and hopefully close this 7-point gap. We will see.
Danica St. Louis was a nice dig on the last offensive possession. Howell sends it over. Cudmore touches it up. And Verbruggen, nice spike by her. And Loyalist gets back-to-back points as Cudmore, who's not averaging, but who's 9 kills on the night. She's
impressive streak here.
Playing very well for her squad.
Just barely knocking that serve over the net.
As Howell misplaying that one falls out of play. And Cudmore, for the 3rd time in a row, will go back to the service line. Her team down by 5. She's done an incredible job here, like we mentioned, getting those 9 kills as she puts the ball over. And it falls in play. What a serve ace.
Beautiful ace from number 13 again for the Lancers. You got to imagine they keep going this way. If they can keep Cudmore in service for as long as they can, they're going to close this gap, Seth.
And they're only down by 4 now, so the way they're going, a lot of momentum's on Loyalist side. Let's see what the Lancers have in store as Cudmore puts it right back up. Paquette. As that one goes out of play, and Tantori with the same attempt from like Lazone does that we saw twice from her, sending it diagonally with her arm there. Not able to fall there, and it's 17-15 it should be. As the Wolves put it up. Howell over the net here. Verboom. Nice block here.
Beautiful block from our Algonquin
Wolves.
Wolves.
And the Wolves go up by 4, 18-14. As Cambria Alford subs off for number 15. Emily Villeneuve, the 5'7" left hitter from Cornwall, Ontario, in the game here for the first time tonight. Off that Tantori serve ace. The Wolves go up by 5 and inching closer and closer, only down by 6 to win this 3rd set.
Absolutely, closer and closer to their victory, but the Lancers, as we've seen, not going to let them get it easily.
Tantori puts it up. Cudmore able to send it over. St. Louis, nice play made by her. Ormorod sends it over. Rutledge to Crawford. Off the net. And Algonquin gets the 20th point. Only 5 points away from winning the 3rd set and getting the win here tonight. Tantori set once again to serve this one. It goes out of bounds, and it will be Loyalists back to the serve line as Verbruggen, who's averaging 0.22 serve aces per set, getting set to serve this one with her squad down by 5. Verbruggen over to St. Louis. Ormorod sends it over. And Routledge cannot
spike. Absolutely right. Routledge not prepared for that. You can see it on her face as she sent it up before the ball even hit the ground. She made the face as if she knew that one was going down.
Routledge can't handle or more Rhodes. Spike there as she sends it over. Cutmore or more Road puts it up for Tentori. Tentori over the net here as Baker runs to get it. Byrne sends it over. Or more Road outside to Villeneuve, and Villeneuve can't get it to fall inside of play. And Loyalist with Crawford sent to the serve line. And she sends this one out of play as Jada Eads, getting set to enter the game with Crawford subbing out for Loyalist. Howell sends it over. Cutmore digs it up. Verboom! Her spike attempt is no good there. With Villeneuve jumping to give a blocking look there as Howell getting set to serve and put this one over. As there was a little miscommunication or something going on here. I don't know what happened. There was a quick whistle. I do believe there's a misalignment with the Loyalist players not in the right place at the right moment.
Some hype building here in the stadium here tonight, Seth.
As the Wolves 1 point away from winning this game and winning the third set. The crowd going crazy here. Victor Paulo getting the crowd going here. Cutmore putting it up. Baker saves it. It goes over the net. It's put up. And Eads goes to get it. Cutmore across. Villeneuve puts it down, and that's a win for the Wolves! They sweep the Loyalist Lancers 3-0. They get their third victory of the year, and the Wolves keep climbing up in the victory column in the OCAA. What a game! What a way to get the third set victory as the Wolves win this one.
And a beautiful rally to close it out, Seth. Truly just a good testament to both teams and the skill that they're portraying here on the court tonight. Like I said, it would have been nice for the Loyalists to go home with at least one set under the belt, but they played a beautiful game. They put definitely some challenges here out for the Wolves. You know, we saw those good blocks. Cudmore, some very amazing plays and some great spikes from Cudmore here tonight. Definitely an asset that we will be talking about as we follow Loyalist Lancers on their season, but a terrific win for our Algonquin Wolves here tonight, Seth.
100% here, as you know, we talked about it before with certain players, how they're going to play. You know, Tentori, 10 kills on the night as she, you know, came in with some great attacks here. Same thing with Lozon, but the one I really want to point out is from the Wolves is, you know, we talked about her a lot. We talked about how she's able to play the ball, but I want to mention Gabby Paquette, the way she's able to control the ball, able to set up her teammates to really get things going was really good. And, you know, the Wolves have a lot of players that can get a lot of things going. But, you know, we talked about Villeneuve coming in late, Janif, who played a lot in that second set, Cameron, who came in. We talked about depth. We talk about depth in the lineup, and it seems like every team that Algonquin has that from soccer, basketball, and now volleyball. But they have a lot of players that can play offense and defense, but a lot of players that Everton Senior, head coach for the Wolves, can come and be like, you're playing this set, you're playing this set.
Yeah, and that's what it's important, and that's why it's important to use these timeouts that they have so they can consult on that, because having a team like this that's very, like we said, varied players that we have here across all our teams, as you said, Seth, it's great to have that people that can switch their responsibilities and their roles, but to actually know what those roles are. That's the key to the communicative team and a coordinated team, and that's what's going to get them the W like we saw here tonight. Definitely some lacks in their plays. They should have been able to get some of those rebounds from the Lancer blocks, but certainly a strong game all around from both teams. Don't go anywhere as we prepare for the 6 o'clock men's game now against Wolves against the Lancers.
And from Loyalist, you know, they came in here today 0-3. They go 0-4 now, but Charles Cudmore coming in here, 10 kills on the night. Really the main focus, the main player from this Loyalist team, getting a lot of things going early, and she's, you know, the star player, if you want to mention, for the Lancers. She has a lot going, even if that's from the defensive side to the offensive side. But, you know, Jamie Routledge setting up Cudmore. A lot of times you see both of them, Cudmore digging it up, Routledge setting her up, and Cudmore setting it over the net. So the Lancers came in here down on the win board, but they're able to show a lot of light, especially that second set, how it was very close until the end. They showed, so in the 3 sets, they showed a lot of great things. They just got to find a way to get things to fall in their favor a little more here, as the Wolves were able to take it away from them here today. But nothing less, they were able to play a great game. They just came up a bit short.
Absolutely, and you know, couldn't say it better myself, Seth. And anyways, we gear up for the men's game here today. Don't go anywhere, folks. 6 p.m. men's Algonquin Wolves versus the Loyalist Lancers.
And it was a great game for both these teams. And last year you saw Algonquin, and especially on the women's side, really get going really good, you know, throughout the year. But when you start early like this, getting 3 victories in the first 2 weeks of the season, it makes things very easy for you to progress and see how things go. And that's what, you know, they want to figure out. They want to figure out how to minimize mistakes, but how to find ways to keep moving forward and play a great game. Because the first and third set was great from the Wolves. The second set, there's a couple things that could have been better, but you get the win. That's all that matters. So for today, that's all we have for the women's game. And like you mentioned, Owen, 6 o'clock, the men's are playing the Lancers right in front of us, as the Wolves move to 3-0. The Lancers fall to 0-4 as the 9th team in the province gets the victory here today. I'm in the booth with
Owen O'Kelly.
And I'm Seth Poirier. Don't go anywhere, as the men's game starts very soon. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.